We will bring you all the net results and definitely all the best dance moves. So celebrate with us and give your Cardinals a shout out. Run for that favorite easy chair. And remember, not everything goes the way you want it, but this show will. Sportsnight is next.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Sportsnight. I'm Joe Young.
And I'm Howie Sproul. Short one tonight compared to some other weeks, but yeah, we've got a quick one.
It is. We're going to kind of fly through it. Only got 4 pieces of video, but yeah, when you say things don't always go your way, when looking at last Tuesday's girls' soccer game, not much of anything went the Cardinals' way, and it was a tough one, but it's a character builder. That's what we like to say, right?
It is a character builder, and you know the unusual show, no football to talk about this week because
well,
they didn't play.
We are going to talk about them though, because they returned to action.
No results.
At Andover on Friday, and we will be excited to be there.
We will be there,
and then they will close out the season with back-to-back home games. The homecoming game on the 15th. Hosting Cambridge Isani, and then they will finish against St. Cloud Apollo. Well, let's jump right into tennis. The tennis team wrapped up the regular season and started the playoffs this week with a very unusual schedule. As luck would have it, the Cardinals faced off against Park Center in 3 straight matches. It started with the Pirates coming to the Pivot Courts on Tuesday for what would be the final match of the regular season. Cardinals controlled every position in the lineup, starting with Gabby Newton at first singles. She set the tone with a 6-4, 6-3 win against her Pirates opponent. It was straight sets on every court. Kelsey Goldman was perfect against Park Center. This beauty to the back corner helped her to a 6-love, 6-love victory. Abby Ness keeps the momentum going at third singles, controlling almost every point. Ness isn't perfect, but coasts to a pretty easy win, 6-0, 6-2. Brooklyn Nienaber in the far court at the fourth singles spot. Great read and finish for this point. Nienaber also convincing with a 6-2, 6-0 victory. Zoe Scheck and Mary Olson teamed up at first doubles. After Scheck's return, Olson takes care of the rest of this point. They have the closest battle of the day, but they still win handily, 6-3, 7-6. Both second and third doubles taking care of business quickly as well. Emily Nicholas and Lily Newton are all smiles as they breeze to a 6-1, 6-1 win. And then it's Carly Hafferman and Caitlin Caminiti finishing it up at third doubles. Same score, 6-1, 6-1. Cardinals sweep up on Park Center, 7-0.
It was a nice tune-up going into sections that with a 7-0 victory. It's obviously you command the fact that you won 7-0, and that's a pretty nice victory.
Well, and because of the way that they do it, they have the crossover game after the regular season. That was on Thursday, and what do you know? Cardinals faced off against Park Center. They mixed up the lineup, played some girls in different spots, gave some other girls an opportunity, and they still won 6-1 against the Pirates. And then the section started this afternoon, and the Cardinals beat them 7-0. That should be 7-0, not 7-1. Cardinals convincing they are the number 11 and 14 seeds in a very strange bracket. The Cardinals will now move on to face Rogers tomorrow, and that is still just the second round. Top 4 teams in the 15-team bracket get essentially a double bye. They get a bye until the quarterfinals. So the winner of Rogers-Coon Rapids will face Delano in the quarterfinals. Buffalo awaits the winner of Osseo Cooper, and then the winner of that match will play number 2 seed Champlin Park. Wayzata, the number 1 seed, and Maple Grove, the number 4 seed, in the top of the bracket waiting in the quarterfinals.
Well, it certainly won't be an easy one against Rogers, but the Cardinals have an opportunity. They're coming off 3 straight wins, so it has to taste good in their mouth, the feeling that they won 3 in a row. It's going to be a little better competition, however, so we'll see.
It's going to be a lot better competition.
We'll see how that goes.
But a good way to finish and start the postseason. The individual section tournament will be on the 18th and 19th of October.
Well, the volleyball team had just 1 match last week, and it was an incredibly tough challenge against one of the conference leaders from Champlin Park. The Rebels came in with a 14-3 record, including a perfect 4-0 in the Northwest Suburban. Just over half of their wins were in straight sets, and all 3 losses were in tournament play, so best of 3 instead of 5. They were just a bit too much for the Cardinals on Thursday night. Cardinals knew they were facing a tall task, but they were going to give it their best. Coon Rapids able to keep the score close. early through the first set. Michaela Wilbur getting it through with a block here and the point. Wilbur had team-high 3 kills against the Rebels. Champlin Park just too much offensively and defensively. Huge stuff block for Carly Gilk. Closes out the first set for the Rebels 25-18. Well, the Rebels completely control the rest of the match. Bella Bresnahan getting a kill in the second set. She had 3 on the night, but the points few and far between for the home team. Champlin Park firing on all cylinders. Gilk with a big kill in the middle. The Rebels are going to roll to a 25-7 win in the second. We'll move to the third. Cardinals down big early in that set as well. They capitalize on a weak pass to the net here. Through Wilbur poking it to the floor. The Rebels were dominant again in the third. Coming up here, McKenna Thorup finishes this point, and Champlin Park finishes quickly. 25-8 completes the 3-set sweep. Cardinals fall to 1-9 on the season.
Yeah, they just have the horses in Champlin Park. They've got a number of big, tall, strong, athletic girls, and they have a great setter that passes the ball. You never know where it's coming from, and they were bringing girls off the bench in that third set that were outstanding players. Didn't get to touch the floor until they had it pretty much wrapped up. So it's kind of a volleyball factory right now.
Yeah, I mean the last 2 matches we saw was obviously Champlin Park and then Rogers, which also is a very good volleyball squad.
Well, the Cardinals busy this week. They're at Osseo tonight. They host Park Center tomorrow, and Howie?
We'll be there.
And then they are at Anoka on Thursday. Swimming and diving team has a couple of weeks off now after a dual meet against Elk River last week. They lose a close one to the Elks. Ella Hacker taking first place in the 100 breast and the 200 IM. Claire Hartung was second off the diving board. Caitlin Robinson second in the 100 fly, a personal best for her, I believe. Laura McCarr second in the 50 free, and just a half second behind her was Michaela D'Souza as they finished second and third in the 50 free. Got an outstanding email from Coach Doug Donaldson, just raving about how well they are swimming. Really pleased with their times. Would love to see some better team results, but knows that is coming. It's a work in progress and rebuilding, but pretty impressed with how the top girls, especially. I know he pointed out Caitlin Robinson is really turning heads this year, and really pleased with the way a lot of girls are swimming.
Yeah, he was also happy with the fact that he thought this was a good time for them to have a little bit of a break before they resume. So this is an opportunity for them to kind of regroup a little bit and talk about things and then start in action again.
And it will get very busy.
Yeah.
They are at Anoka on Thursday the 14th. True Team section is on Saturday the 16th, and then the Northwest Suburban Conference Tournament, which will be head-to-head against an opponent to be determined. That will be on Tuesday the 19th. Well, the cross-country teams also had just one event last week, and their conference championship is just over a week away. Both Cardinals teams have shown steady improvements throughout the year, and their growth continued at the Osseo Invite on Thursday. 10 Cardinals posted personal bests at Elm Creek, and 8 others had season bests. As a result, team scores for both boys and girls are getting stronger as well. Girls took the course first on Thursday. 13 teams and over 110 racers clogging the course on an unseasonably humid afternoon. Coon Rapids handling the heat well and trying to cope with and stay with the top groups. 7th grader Ruby Demmer posts top time for the Cardinals in 21:57 in 33rd. Senior captain Lila Gilliard came in 47th. Co-captain Julie Henlin not far behind, just under 23 minutes. 8th grader Stella Bone finished 77th, and freshman Megan Fuller was 91st. Cardinals finished 8th. Boys race was even bigger, 22 teams, over 170 runners. Again, Cardinals handling the weather and track conditions well. Another youngster leading the way, freshman Yell Nordquist, finished 34th in 18 minutes, 0.7 seconds. Junior Peyton Martinick just 6 seconds back in 40th. Fellow junior Aaron Casey takes 49th. Freshman Cole Burnett finishes in 121st place, and sophomore Nolan Hazelwood takes 126th. All 5 scoring Cardinals are underclassmen, and Coon Rapids takes 13th place out of 22 teams at Osseo.
Yeah, bodes well for next year, the fact that you've got all these underclassmen running well and getting a lot of opportunity.
And they've got some fun events coming up. They do something called the Hoka 1 2-mile. It's part of a national event that they've been doing for a couple of years. They're doing it on Wednesday night at 7 o'clock at the stadium, running under the lights. So normally they haven't done it under the lights. Gives the kids a chance to run at the stadium under the lights. And then they're off until the Northwest Suburban Conference Championships on Wednesday the 13th. And then they'll have another tune-up, the ABC 3K at Greenhaven on Tuesday the 19th. And that's just the original three, Anoka, Blaine, Coon Rapids, a 3K, a shorter event to get ready for the big section tournament.
Should be a good opportunity for all the runners. So. The boys soccer team, well, they had 2 games last week, and both had big implications for conference standings and the section seedings. On Tuesday, the Cardinals hosted Spring Lake Park. Cardinals had a slight edge in the overall record, but both teams were 5-4 in the Northwest Suburban play. Both were coming off a win, and both were trying to make it a streak. This one turned into an offensive shootout, and it starts with Coon Rapids dominating the first. Yukon Harmon a steal in close, quickly buries a left footer to the far side. Cardinals leading 31st minute. Nice dance moves there. And that was just the spark the boys needed. Less than 5 minutes later, corner kick is rejected and sent right back to Gavin Stevenson. He lofts it towards the back post. Great header for Harmon, and it's quickly 2-0 Coon Rapids. They weren't done in the first. Stevenson looking for Harmon again. He's marked well, but Yaya Sibity able to sprint to the free ball. He buries it, and the Cardinals cruise to the halftime lead of 3-0. They're going to carry the momentum into the second. Just 13 minutes in, Andrew Hyatt with a great pass. Goalie doesn't charge. Harmon able to spin and score with the left foot. Get a hat trick, and Coon Rapids up 4-0. Well, this one, far from over. The Panthers sophomore sensation gets them right back into the game. Abdul Akinola scored 3 unanswered goals, so it was 4-3 with 10 minutes to go. The Cardinals are going to find just enough offense. Look at the crowd that Yukon Harmon draws. That allows him to set up Abdullah Ali. Ali makes it 5-3 with 9 minutes remaining, and the Cardinals hold on for a 5-4 win. There you see the goal. They needed all 5 of those goals.
They did, and it was a fun one. You know, not very often we do a soccer game get to see 9 goals. Yeah. But Yukon Harmon, we may have mentioned it before, he's pretty good.
Not bad.
And when he draws 4 or 5 defenders, he knows he's got help, and he's good enough to find them. Unfortunately, the Cardinals didn't have enough offense to get past Rogers. They lose to the Royals 2-1. Harmon had the only goal on a penalty kick. Cardinals will wrap up the regular season this week. They're at Elk River on Tuesday and host Maple Grove on Thursday. Well, the Lady Cards were right back on the pitch. Oh, on Monday, we got to start with Monday. On Monday, the Lady Cards had a rescheduled game against against Andover, excuse me. Got that in here somewhere. Do we have that? Maybe we don't.
You have it.
No, because I didn't put it in there. They lost to Andover. So on Monday, the Lady Cards were right back on the pitch on Tuesday night, hoping they could get things turned around against Spring Lake Park. The Cardinals had a slight edge on paper, but both teams were trying to end similar slides. Each had won just 1 win in its previous 6 games, and this one played out differently than anyone would have expected. Early in the first half, Molly Knobloch lofts a pass over the defense. That gets Bailey Rao a great chance. Keeper makes a diving save. Grace Stevenson able to poke it home, but a late flag, a short discussion, and that one's waved off for offsides. Less than 5 minutes later, the Panthers start the scoring. Good setup down low. Brianna Finnegan has room, slips it just inside the post past a diving Maddie Reinhardt. Cardinals looking to answer late in the half. Ritsanaya pass is deflected, but right to Stevenson. She one-touches it perfectly. Great shot to the upper corner. Looks like it's tied, but another questionable flag, another offside, and the Cardinals trail 1-0 at the break. Cards finally get one that counts early in the second. Solid free kick from Knobloch. Anna Kepke heads to Bailey Payne. She strikes true. We're tied at 1. Cardinals controlled much of the action, but they just couldn't find the net again. Panthers taking advantage of their few opportunities. Long shot from Megan Olson is a tough stop. Avery Dunbar takes care of the rebound, gives SLP a lead with 13 minutes left, and that knocked Reinhardt out of the game. They get some insurance later. Katie Booth's high lofted shot is out of the reach of sub-keeper Bailey Payne. Panthers scored 1 more with 1 second remaining, and they hand the Cardinals a 4-1 loss. Fortunately,
that was a tough one.
It was.
It was a tough one because I think they came in thinking that this is a game on paper they should have won.
And who knows what happens if those 2 goals aren't disallowed.
Yep.
It's a completely
Totally
different game. But the road didn't get any easier. On Thursday, they were at Rogers. They lost to the Royals 3-0. But on Saturday, they came home to face Irondale, and they put up a 5-spot.
Nice.
Molly Terabeza and Rory Ritzenaya had 2 goals apiece, and Langworthy got her first goal of her varsity career. Cardinals will also round out their regular season this week at Elk River on Tuesday and hosting Maple Grove on Thursday.
Yeah, some good soccer action. We've had an opportunity to do a couple of doubleheaders this year. You and I, anyway. I think we did one on a single camera as well. So we've been able to see what these two teams can do, and I like their chances going into section. The boys have been playing really well, and both teams, they play their games. They have an opportunity.
Both teams have had seasons to be proud of, and anything can happen come the playoffs. Playoffs! We're not quite to that point yet, but we are looking forward to a lot of action. We do have playoff soccer on the docket there on Tuesday the 12th. But first, we're going to do some volleyball against Park Center on Tuesday and football at Andover on Friday. But that is going to do it for this edition of Sports Night. I want to thank everybody out there for joining us and continuing to support everything we do here at CTN. For the entire crew, including Howie Shapiro, I'm Joe Young, saying good night.